is a unique moment in constitutional law in that we are talking about lifetime appointments. I don't know that there is another provision in our Constitution which gives any branch of government the authority to appoint someone to a lifetime appointment. But that's what we're considering with your nominations today. And I assume the wisdom of the founding then all fathers would suggest that it was so that you would be independent of the ebb and flow of politics and have longevity in a job and not worry about whether you're going to have your head chopped off if you rule the wrong way. Of course, those of us who practice before judges, and that probably includes every single one of you, know that for some judges that is a humbling assignment, and for others it is not. They become somewhat dictatorial in their courtrooms, feeling they don't have to answer to anybody at any time, and they're going to be there as long as they can draw a breath. So I'd like to ask you, since I did spend some time in courtrooms many years ago, on this question of judicial temperament, if you could think of an illustration of a judge who you think did it the right way, and perhaps one very brief example of how that was illustrated in their practice. Ms. Castner, would you like to be first?
Sure. Thank you, Chairman Durbin. I feel very fortunate to have had the experience of appearing before the judges in the District of New Jersey, who are very talented and smart and hardworking. And in every case I've ever appeared before the court, the judges have always been even-tempered. They treat litigants and attorneys with respect and dignity. They are always prepared, and they always issue opinions that are clear and reasoned. And those would be the characteristics that I would strive to emulate if I were fortunate enough to be confirmed.
I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and if you could give me a concise answer too, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you for your question, Senator. I've had the privilege of working with wonderful judges, as well as appeared before wonderful judges who showed excellent temperament. As we all know, the judges set the tone for the expectations in the courtroom. And when you have judges that treat all the litigants, everybody there in the courtroom with dignity and respect, it ensures to all that they will have a fair process. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Rubin.
Thank you very much. I will echo Judge Montenegro's sentiments that I do believe that the issue of temperament is the core feature from which all other desirable judicial characteristics flow. It allows people to know that they are being heard and listened to, and that there will be a measured and fair outcome. As an example, I would cite Judge Stuart Berger, who sat on my court in the circuit court and now sits on the Court of Special Appeals in Maryland. His temperament is legendarily smooth and courteous and kind.
Thank you. Judge Silva.
I echo many of the comments of my fellow nominees. I feel fortunate that I've appeared in front of a number of very patient and calm judges, and that is the type of judge I want to be. In my opinion, temperament equals patience, and patience equals temperament, and that's what I try to emulate every day.
Ms. Traum.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. I also join and echo so many of the comments of my fellow nominees. I would just add that the judge, particularly a district court judge, is the face of justice in our system for so many people who interact either as a party or a participant in that process. What the judge, how the judge behaves must embody all of the values that we hold so dear, that the judge is neutral and fair-minded, as my fellow nominees have said, that people want to be heard, and the judge is there to listen and to run a fair process so that people understand what is happening and come away knowing that the process was fair. And that is exactly what we value in our system, so it has to happen in every courtroom for every judge to have that interaction with people.
I would just add my own personal note is taking the time to explain to the people in the courtroom what's happening is an important part of the system of justice, because most of it appears to be a mystery to many of the people who are witnessing it. I have a question for each of you based on your background, but I'm going to only have time to ask one, and that's Judge Silva. When you were an assistant U.S. attorney in Nevada, You helped lead the office's investigation of the horrific October 1st, 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas, which took the lives of 60 victims. Can you tell us, in your own words, what that investigation taught you?
I believe that investigation really demonstrated how important it is that local, state, and federal law enforcement work together to overcome, which I don't even know if we can say overcome, but deal with the crisis that our city was facing. I saw individuals, both state and federal level, as law enforcement as well as the prosecution level, work together to do our best to make sure that we understood what had happened, if there were any other assailants that needed to be tracked down, and to make sure that we're utilizing all resources to address the crisis that our city was facing and truly is still recovering from.
Thank you very much. Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.